Hey, Cub fans. Welcome back to Cubs 24/7, where Randy talks Cubs. Really appreciate you joining us. Cubs lost in extra innings tonight, 12-11. A lot of good news in it, a lot of bad news in it. There was a lot that went on. I'm going to remain optimistic. In fact, I told myself I'm not even going to be depressed after losing this extra inning game, because going into it, I fully expected we were going to lose tonight. We won last night, and I felt like that's the one we needed. I felt like coming into this series, we're going to lose game two for reasons we've talked about. And there were some times where I thought we were going to pull it out, but I'm still right where I wanted to be. I wanted to be have a split going into the finale tomorrow with Jordan Wicks on the bump, and that's what we've got. So I don't know that we learned much, but we do have some good news. So let's look at it from that perspective. Let's start with the lineups. Nico Hoerner was in the leadoff spot. Nico had a great game yesterday, and it didn't surprise me that Council put him in the leadoff spot today. So nice to see Nico leading off, playing second base. Dansby still in the two-hole at shortstop. Belly in center field, hitting third. Christopher Morel, third base, cleanup. Cooper got his second start, back-to-back, DHing in the 5-hole. Michael Busch at first base, hitting sixth. I imagine they would have flipped Coop and Busch had there not been a lefty on the mound. Ian Happ started in left field, hitting seventh, so Ian got dropped down to seventh. He seems to be happier there. No pun intended. Amaya was catching, hitting eighth, and Alexander Canario got the start in right field against the lefty, hitting ninth. We scored a bunch. We scored 11. We scored our first run in the third inning. We got one run. We got 4 runs in the fifth inning. We erupted for 6 runs in the seventh, and that was all the scoring that we got done the rest of the way. And let's just talk about the scoring. Third inning, Happ led off with a double in the gap. Amaya followed him with a double to the left field corner. Happ's hitting right-handed, so right-handed Happ was really good tonight. Right-handed Happ in the third hit that double in the gap to left center. Amaya followed him with another rocket to the corner, scoring Happ. So that's the first run. We got 4 runs in the fifth inning. This is where it really went off. And one of the things that I think happened, at least to me, is the scoring was kind of interesting. Kyle did give up total 7 runs in his 4 1/3 innings, but I was pretty optimistic. I expected that he was going to give up the runs, and he did. But I felt like we were going to get to their lefty Henry at some point. I was really confident that this lineup was going to get to him, and in the fifth we did. So Happ led off with a single, and Amaya followed him with a triple to left. Happ scores. Canario comes up. He hits a ringing double to the left field gap, scoring Amaya. Nico doubled, scoring Canario, and Belly had an RBI triple, scoring Nico. So that bottom group, 7, 8, 9, in the third and the fifth, put together some hits and got us on the board. Then in the seventh inning, we erupted for 6 total. Talk came in pinch hitting for Canario. He leads off with a walk. Nico got another single. Nico had 4 hits tonight. Dansby got his only hit tonight following Nico. So bases loaded, no outs, and we got 3, 4, 5 coming. So Belly pops out. Morel sacrifice fly, and then Cooper sort of saved that inning. Cooper singles, line drive. Then Busch followed him with a base on balls to bring Happ up with the bases loaded, and Happ hits his first home run, grand slam. Right-handed, hit it about 365 feet, just over the wall in the corner and left. But that inning was really big. That base hit by Cooper is 2-strike hit. If he doesn't come through, Bush doesn't walk and Happ doesn't come up to do that. So Cooper, in my mind, it was Cooper's at bat in that 7th inning that sort of opened the floodgates. So we were up for 7 runs in the 6th inning. I'm going to say the good news is this. Nico looked great again tonight. He goes 4 for 5. He's got 2 singles, a double, a triple, scored twice, had an RBI. And he just, last night it looks like he just launched himself. So I'll have to check his average, but last I saw, I think before his triple in the 8th, he was already up to like 280. So and he played great defense. Nico the last 2 games, he looked exactly like we were hoping he was going to look. So I expect to see Nico back in the leadoff spot, making things happen, hitting the ball hard the other way, playing aggressively. That's what he did tonight. So as of right now, it looks like the good news in all of this is Nico Hoerner is back. And that bodes well. Dansby went 1 for 4. He scored a run. Belly went 1 for 5. Had that triple, the RBI triple. Morrell went 1 for 3 with an RBI. Cooper went 1 for 5, had that big hit in the 7th inning, so we had an RBI and he scored a run. Michael Bush kind of came back to earth tonight, maybe a little bit. He went 0 for 4, but in the 2nd inning, his first at bat, he hit a line drive down the left field line going oppo that was probably about 3 feet wide of being fair and like a home run. He came within 3 or 4 feet of hitting an opposite field home run tonight in his first at bat. And then in the 6th inning, he hit a really nice opposite field fly ball back the left fielder up just shy of the warning track. And Boog and JD were talking about how that ball is a home run at Wrigley. And I think probably it was, especially, in a summer day when the ball's carrying. So Bush went 0 for 4, but he had a critical walk in the 7th. And hit a couple balls that opposite field that had a chance. So Bush is fine even with the 0 for 4. Ian Happ went off tonight. I'm hoping we have Happ back, especially right-handed Happ. He looks so much better. I don't know if it was dropping him down out of the leadoff spot that helped, but I'm going to assume that Nico's going to take that leadoff spot moving forward here, and Happ's going to be dropped down. But he goes 3 for 5 tonight. Ian has 4 RBIs and scores 3 runs, has a double, a single, grand slam. So good to have Happ back. Happ and Nico's going to help. Maya's hitting the ball. Maya went 2 for 5 tonight. He scored a run, had 2 RBIs, caught a good game. Canario had a big hit. He had that RBI double in the 5th. So he looked good. He played some good center field. I like him. I think him and Cooper from the right-handed side of the box are formidable. I think if we'll see what Canario's been on the cusp for a little bit of time, but he drilled that ball in the 5th inning, hit it on the screws. So he looks like he might be ready to go. Talk came in the 7th, replacing Canario, pinch hitting, and Talk went 0 for 2 with a walk. And then Madrigal came in for Morrell in the 9th inning, played the 9th and 10th. So 14 hits total, struck out 8 times, walked 3, left 5 on base. We were 7 for 18 with runners in scoring position. So offensively, we look good. We scored 11 runs. So, but a lot of good news. Nico and Happ breaking out bodes well. So probably similar lineup tomorrow. Probably Talk in for Canario. There's a righty going. We've got Wicks in the finale as well. So the problem was on the hill. I'll start with the first one. Pitching staff walked 10 guys tonight. And Kyle, I was going to say Kyle was awful, but he was Kyle. He's 7 runs and 4 1/3 inning. That's ERA of, my math, I don't know what, 12 something. That's about what he came in with. So he looked exactly like he had been looking. He's consistent. He looked exactly like I expected him to look. So, but what I didn't expect Luke to come in, and Luke was awful tonight. He was all over the place. He had 2 wild pitches, and I'll go through it, but Luke was not good. Palencia came in. He didn't have a good outing. Yancey was decent. Adbert blew a save. The only good spot on the mound was Mark Leiter Jr. I'll walk through what he did, but we were just awful on the mound. So Kyle goes 4 1/3, 5 hits, 3 walks, struck out 3, gave up 2 home runs, 7 earned runs, threw 78 pitches, 48 strikes. He got out of the first inning, went strikeout, walk, fly out to center, and a strikeout. So first inning looked good, 13 pitches, 8 strikes. Second inning, a leadoff hit a guy, gave up a single. That guy scored on a 5-4 put out, and he gets out of the inning going 4-3. Then he gives up 3 runs in the third, single to lead off, pop up to Dansby. Then he gives up a 2-run homer. Another pop up to Dansby, gives up a solo shot. So he gives up 2 home runs in the third for the 3 runs. Then the fourth inning, gets out of it 1-2-3, ground ball to Nico, pop up to Dansby, and a strikeout swinging. 13 pitches, 9 strikes. So, at that point, I'm like, okay, well, he kind of recovered. I'll admit, after the fourth inning, he went 1-2-3. I'm like, boy, it'd be nice if we can kind of get some innings out of him. And then we get 4 in the fifth to take the lead. So we go into the fifth inning, and we're up 5-4, just took the lead. Kyle coming off a really nice inning in the fourth. I'm optimistic. Okay, maybe he recovered. Because I kind of felt like that third inning, he'd given up maybe what he was going to give up and came back and found it again in the fourth. But fifth inning, it went all squirrely. First guy gets a base hit. He gets a pop-up to Morrell, foul pop, and then he walks 2. So we got the bases loaded, 1 out in the fifth, and they pull him and put Luke in. And so Luke comes in, fifth inning, bases loaded, 1 out, and he's facing Jock Peterson. And Jock doesn't want any part of him at all. Jock, it reminded me of the at-bat that John Kruk had against Randy Johnson. You might probably remember that. Jock wasn't interested in standing in there against Luke, but we didn't have to. Luke wild pitch, scored a run. Wild pitch, scored a run. Then he ends up walking Jock. Sacrifice fly, scored a run. Had a pass ball, Amaya, and then on the pass ball, Amaya tries to throw the guy out, so he gets an error, throwing error, followed by another base hit and a run, another base hit, and then a 5-3 put out to get Luke out of that fifth. And Bush made a nice pick on that play. It was Morrell came up clean and threw it, and it was low and to the right of Bush, and Bush made a really nice pick. The kind of pick where if he didn't pick it, you wouldn't have blamed him. He had to backhand it, and it was a long hop, not a full big Sunday hop. It was an in-between long hop. It was a great play just to get us out of that fifth, but Luke was lost. He throws 24 pitches, only 13 strikes, falling off the mound, rolling his ankle, missing by 5-6 feet, just never found his release point. It was awful. So Kyle and Luke. Then Palencia comes in. Daniel gets the 6th, and it gives up base hit. Then we get him out of that with a 6-4-3 double play. He follows it up with a walk. So in the 6th, he goes 2 hits and a walk, and then 3 unassisted to get out of it, and that 6-4-3 double play helped him. He comes back in for the 7th, walks the first guy, gives up a double to the next guy, scores the run. So Mark Leiter Jr. comes in, no outs in the 7th, runner on second, and puts out the fire. Mark Leiter Jr., I got to tell you, maybe he should close. He's given nothing up. He just comes in, and he's pretty much automatic. I think because he doesn't do it with 98-mile-an-hour gas, and he looks the way he looks, which is he doesn't look athletic. you got to watch him pitch and see the result to really know that guy's good. That fork ball or splitter that dives away, he was throwing his curveball, but he just comes in and took care of it. Strikes out the first guy, gets the next two to ground out meekly to Nico at second. Throws 14 pitches, 9 strikes, gets out of the inning. I don't know. The reason I thought maybe he should close is because I don't think we got a closer. We'll get to that. Yancey comes in the 8th. First thing that happens, no, hang on. Mark Leiter comes in, starts the 8th. First thing that happens is Dansby gets an error. I mean, it was a line drive hit right back up the middle, shortstop side of the bag. Dansby was playing right behind it. It was hard hit, but Dansby was 140 feet away from it, and he just didn't catch it. And Corbin Carroll was running, and he runs like a deer. He stole 2 bases tonight. Rookie of the Year last year. He's fantastic. So Corbin beats it out. So E6, they pull Mark and put Yancey in. Pretty much first pitch, Carroll steals second base. Yancey does a walk, puts runners on first and second, walked another guy, got the bases loaded, then gives up a sac fly, and then gets out of it with a short fly out to left field and a strikeout to get out of it. So, I mean, he felt good that he got out of it just with the 1 run. So we're up 11-10 coming out of that 8th inning, just giving up that 1 run. So, like I said, Yancey did okay. Then Adbert in the 9th inning, guys, I was standing up. I thought the game was over. He got fly out to center field to Belly. Next guy 3 unassisted. We got 2 outs, and I'm thinking we're done. And he hangs a slider, keeps it up. Ketel Marte hits a home run right center field, and it was just I knew it then, and so he gives up the tying run, walks the next guy, stolen base, another walk, wasn't over. Finally got a ground out to Nico to get out of the 9th, and then after that we were kind of done. Just didn't get anything done in the top of the 10th, and then Drew came in. Drew Smiley through the 10th inning, through 1 pitch, gave up we'll call it a double, left center field gap, game's over. So it was kind of hard to take, but coming into the game, I had prepared myself all day for the Kyle Hendricks start, and it was exactly what I expected to see, even though in the 4th inning when he got out of that 13 pitch 4th, he looked good again. I was like, okay, but no, it's there. We got decisions to make. It's trouble. Tonight was Kyle's 250th start for the Cubs. Yeah, and I get it. Kyle has been, he's Hendo. But I don't know how much more we can see. I don't know how much more do we want to test. And now we got Luke Little's a question mark, and Adbert, that was Adbert's 3rd blown save. I did a piece on Adbert back in the wintertime, and the question is Adbert a closer? He's our closer, but is he a closer? A closer doesn't blow 3 saves inside of the first month. I don't know. I think we're closerless. So we got Nico back. We got Happ back. Looks like offensively we're going to be pretty good. And you go, well, what's going to happen? And I'm like, well, one of the things that I was thinking to myself today is I was asking myself the question, what if? And I'll just give it to you guys. This is kind of where we are. We're 10-7 to start the year. Let's start with who we've played. We had the Rangers, we had the Dodgers, then we've been on this West Coast run, right? No, we had the Rockies, which helped. But not an easy schedule. West Coast trips are not easy. And so we're sitting here in pretty good shape record-wise at 10-7. And we haven't had Steele. We lost Steele, 4 innings in. Tyone hasn't pitched. Kyle's been awful. Before the season, you would have said, well, we're going to be Steele, Tyone, Hendricks, Shota, and we were looking for that 5th. Remember that? Well, Steele's gone, Tyone's gone, Kyle's been horrible, Shota's been fantastic, and then the guys who were sort of competing for that theoretical fifth spot, Assad and Wicks, have been good, and now Ben Brown. So we got Tyone coming back on Thursday, and at some point Steele's coming back. Steele, Tyone, Shota, then the combination of Assad, Wicks, and Brown. Now we got a rotation. We just keep playing well enough till we get Steele back. If we get Steele back healthy, we get Tyone back healthy, Shota. It looks pretty good rotation-wise. Then you got to ask yourself, well, what are we going to do about a closer? I don't think, for me, we don't have a closer. We've got to figure out plan B. I like Adbert, even leverage, but I just don't think he's a closer. I don't think he is. And I don't think Neris is either. I think we're closerless. Now, I don't know what kind of a power arm we got. That I don't know what the answer is, but it was pretty evident tonight that we don't have a closer. So in addition to Steele and Tyone being out and Kyle being awful, we've also had Bellinger, who started out he's still hitting under 200. Nico just now coming around. Dansby and Happ scuffling. We've had a lot. There's a lot. If I would have thought before the season started that all these things were going to be true, all these things that are true, Steele cert, Tyone cert, Kyle's awful, Belly, Nico, Dansby, and Happ have been scuffling. We don't have a closer. And I would have said, what is your record going to be? Well, you wouldn't have said 10-7. That's why I'm almost giddy. I'm like, my God, we're 10-7 with all of these variables in the first 17 games. Boy, we get this squared away, but there's some adjustments to make. So I guess the first one for me is Tyone on Thursday. That's good. We've got Wicks tomorrow, and then Tyone to open up against the Marlins back at Wrigley, and that's going to be huge. And we just hope he's good and ready to go. And then, they're going to give the ball to Kyle the next turn. If Tyone comes back, is Kyle done with his starts? How are we going to use Ben Brown? A lot of questions, but there's a lot of good in it. And that's why the whole game tonight, even when we blew it, I was like, that's okay. We're learning. We're going to find out. We're going to find out who we need, what needs to happen. Seiya Suzuki has what's been called a moderate right oblique strain, and they're saying 4 weeks. So, but and that's the other thing. And now we lose Seiya, so there's some obstacles to overcome. But we got some guys that can do it. We get the everyday guys, the offense going, and figure out the bullpen. See what we can count on, get that squared away. So, guys, that's it. Cubs lose 12-11 in 10 innings tonight, and we'll look to win the series tomorrow afternoon. Hopefully Jordan Wicks is up to the task. Thanks for checking us out here on Cubs 24/7, where Randy talks Cubs. Go Cubs, go.